Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle. It's Sunday the 29th of September 2024. I hope you are keeping well, enjoying your weekend. It's still morning here. In fact, the New York Times Sudoku puzzle has just been published a minute ago, and so I should be playing that. One of the first people to put up a solution onto YouTube, I guess, assuming that is I can do it. What's going on in the world? In UK politics, the MP for Canterbury, Rosie Duffield, has resigned from the Labour Party after criticising Keir Starmer's policies and approach, technocratic approach. A technocratic approach can be good at times, I think, but it needs to be properly backed up with a philosophical approach as well. I mean, actually having some policies that you believe in, of course. Her resignation, I thought, was reasonable, and her letter of resignation is quite powerful. It says, as Prime Minister, your managerial style and technocratic approach and lack of basic politics and political instincts have come crashing down on us as a party after we worked so hard, promised so much and waited along 14 years to be mandated by the British public to return to power. Now, the reason why this is has come about is because of Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, as acceptance of gifts, which make him look not so perfectly clean as he'd like his image to be, but also the way he has dealt with those journalists' questions about that, where he's been very dismissive, and she is kind of angry about his way of dealing with this, his accepted free clothes and concert tickets and stuff like that, right? She said, since the change of government in July, the revelations of hypocrisy have been staggering and increasingly outrageous. I cannot put into words how angry I and my colleagues are at your total lack of understanding about how you have made us all appear. And I heard her interviewed on radio, and she was saying, you know, how she, as a lowly MP, basic MP, earns £91,000 a year or something, which is, she said, is far and enough, for people to live on compared to the average wage, the average salary, and he was earning £150,000 at the time he accepted those gifts. Good point, and I'm much in favour of her. She's now going to be an independent. No doubt she'll be. She was also very aggrieved at the lack of Labour implementing a ceiling on those who can accept winter fuel payments, pensioners accepting winter fuel payments. All right, let's get on with the game of Sudoku then, shall we? Let's see how far we can take our New York Times puzzle. I'm going to start with sevens across here like this, and 7 up here like so. I was reading a lot of that stuff from the paper. I wasn't exactly looking at the grid, but I just spotted those 7s pretty quickly. Anything else that we can spy? I spy with my little eye. Something beginning with 8. Okay. And now the 2's going up here and 2 up there. So we've got a pair, New York Times style, immediately 2 and 8 across here. So we have a 2 and 8 pair there. 1 is going to block this square. 1 is going to block this square, or 1 has to be there. This is 2 and 8. The remaining digits to go in those 2 blue squares cannot be 2 or 8, must be 6 and 9. And we've got 6 blocking this square, so we'll put the 6 over there, and we'll put the 9 here. We also have 9s blocking up and across there, so that'll give us a 9 in that square. We have 9s blocking down here and across here, so we get a pair of 9s in one of those 2 squares, blocking back up. 9 across here, and there's a 9. let's have another look at this block. Now, what did I say goes in there? 2 and 8, right? So what else do we know? We've got 1s there. Do we know anything about the 3s? Not really. 4s are there. 1, 2, 4. What else is it? 6 in those squares. One, 4, 3, 6. Shall we wander around? Why not? Oh, a solitary 5 up there. 6, there we go. Okay, we've got 3, 5, 6, 9 missing in this row, I believe. 3, 5, 6, 9 and 5, 6, 9 in a convenient column, which will give us a 3 in that square. So now we've got 3 and 6 blocking. Remember, this was 2 and 8, right? So we've got 3 and 6 blocking up here, so we know that's 3 and 6. 3s, 6s down there. So this has to be 2, 8, 3, 6, 1, 4. So 1 across there. There's our 1, and there's our 4. Okay, we have 4 and 7 in this square and 4 and 7 in these squares. So those squares there can't be 4 or 7. So we do have a pair of 4 and 7 in those squares there. And so we will be left here and here without 4 or 7. Must be 3 and 5. Any help on 3 or 5? We have a pair of 3, 5 here. Any help? 3, 5, 3, 5. Come on. No. Don't see it. Okay, we got one across here, and one down here. And one up, one down, one across, and one across, up and down. And one is no more. Still, that's the only 5. This game looks like it. There are a lot of pairs around, and if I move to the pencil marks, I'm sure it'll be pretty easy to finish the game off. I will try to go forward a little bit though, if I can. So now I said 4 and 7 in those squares, so these can't be 4 or 7. They have to be 3, 5, 8. We've got 3s there, we've got 8s there. The 5s are still unknown, I think. Five, 6, 8. Yeah, this is definitely a game that if I move to pencil marks, I can see it's all going to fall apart very easily. But I know there are people who like to play the game without pencil marks. Not necessarily me, but just on their behalf, I'll try to do a little bit more if I can. But if I can't, I won't. Ah, a gift horse. 4 and 9 are still needed in this block here. We've got 4 and 9 blocking across there. That has to be 4 and 9. This has to be a 5. This is 3, 6. This is 3, 6. This can't be 3 or 6. So shall we investigate? It's not 3 or 6 because of our rule of a unique rectangle. We have 3, 6 limited to these two squares here and in this square here, 3 and 6. It means this square here cannot contain 3 or 6. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be 5. It's not 6. It's not 7, 8, or 9. It's a 5. Thank you. So now what? Oh, 6 blocking up there. There's a 6. There's the 3. And there's the 3 there. And 6 blocking across there, of course, gives us 6 there. Okay, so I said 4 and 7 are in those squares there. So when the 5 blocks down here, it puts 5 into one of these 2 squares, blocking down here, blocking down here. That has to be a 5 then. Like I said, I know that when I put in those pencil marks, it's all going to be easy. I'm sure of it. Okay, I think I've gone on long enough, don't you? Let's finish the game. So, even though I might be able to do this without pencil marks, it will just take too long. So I'm going to call a halt to the proceedings at this point and put in some pencil marks. 4 and 7 go there, 5s go there, 3s go in those squares, and 8s go in those squares there. 9s go down here, and this is 4 and 9 up there, and this is 2 and something, 2 and 8, and okay, what about everything else? Let's see now. 2s are down here and anywhere across there. 3s are in those squares. And there. 4s are somewhere there. And across there. Sixes are down there, down here, and there. 7s are up here, and there. Nines are over there. And I think that's the pairs in, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty easy once I put in the other candidates now and then. So let's just finish off the grid, shall we? Assuming there's nothing. That's not a pair of 3, 4, 4s out there as well. Let's do this central block down here. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we know about 5s? They block down like this. 6, 7, and we're looking for 8. 8 across here like that. So we get 8 in those squares there. Oh, so that's a 7, is it? Ah, there was a single there, a 7 in the middle. Okay. I looked at that row. Do you know that column? I'm sure I looked at that column, but I did. But it was a long time ago, I suppose, and I didn't revisit it. So now we've got a pair of 7 and 2 here. So that should make life a lot easier. 7 is there. 4 is there. This is not a 4. We have 2 and 7 here, so when the 4 blocks across here, we know that 4s have to be there with a pair. So that's not going to be 4. That is, in fact, going to be 4. And the last digit to place here is a 5. So 5 down here, down there, and across there gives me 5 in that square, which means that has to be a 7, that has to be a 4, that has to be a 6, and that has... yes, because that has to be a 3, doesn't it? And we get a pair of 3s up there. Missing digits down here are 2 and 9, I think. So this can't be a 9. That has to be a 9. And this has to be whatever's left for that row, which is a 5. And 6 must be there. 6 is down here then, and that's not a 6. The other missing digit here is 8. Okay, then 8 blocks across here, that gives me an 8 down here, and the missing digit here is 2, meaning that's a 2, that's a 2, that's an 8, that's an 8 down here then, that's an 8 there, 3, 8. Like I said, as soon as I put the candidates in, it's going to be pretty easy. But if I'd seen that single 7 there, of course, that would have made the game eminently possible without any pencil marks at all. This is a 9 and a 4. 4 goes there. 9 is in that square there. 9 here, 2 there, 2 there, and a 7 there. Thank you very much for joining me. And maybe I'll get a third game in today as well. See you around. Take care. Bye-bye.